Welcome back to New Jersey Power and Politics. I'm Eric Landskroner. Governor Murphy's budget address this week was the first in 9 years now delivered by a Democrat to a Democrat-controlled legislature. And it goes without saying Republicans were none too pleased with some of the proposals. Joining me now with her party's perspective is Republican Assemblywoman Nancy Munoz, also on the Budget Committee.
Thank you for having me.
Great to see you. Thanks for coming on the show. Maybe it would be easier to ask you what you did agree with in the budget. Would that be a good place to start?
Well, we agreed with one thing about increasing the deductibility on property taxes from $10,000 to $15,000. We thought that was a good initiative because after the SALT deduction from the feds, we realized that lots of our residents of New Jersey are going to take a hit on taxes. So when he went from $15,000 deduction for our state income taxes to 15, we could agree with that. Okay,
so let's talk about some of the things that the governor did lay out. And he laid out a number of proposals here. It's going to cost a chunk of change for the state. Yeah. I'm just going to rattle them off very quickly. A few of them. $283 million in new funding for public schools. Right. $3.2 billion pension payment. That would be the largest ever. Right. Tuition-free community college was another proposal, which he's spoken about before. Raising the minimum wage. Yes. Raising, as you said, the state cap on income tax, on the income tax deduction as well. So what do you think of his plan to pay for all the initiatives?
Well, let's if I may quote somebody in the paper today, it's a whole lot of spending and a whole lot of taxation, and that's a problem for us. And we're looking at the taxpayers, and we simply can't afford all this. The budget went up by $2.7 billion. That's almost an 8% increase over last year. You know, we're asking our municipalities to stay within a 2% cap. Over the past 8 years with Governor Christie, we averaged 1.8%. To go almost 8% is tremendous. And so I don't know how we're going to pay for this. I think that some of their initiatives are misguided. You know, we can't depend on this millionaires tax. I think that is not a good plan. We just can't get enough money from that. And we're going to drive people out of the state. I don't think that's a good idea.
So the risks, you're thinking the risks are outweighing the rewards here.
Absolutely. From my party's perspective, we should do some of the initiatives that we have put forward to help decrease the property tax burden. And instead of going up 8%, why don't we decrease the budget? Just because we have some increased income this year doesn't mean we should have to spend it all. Because again, in New Jersey, we depend on personal income taxes too much to feed the budget. And that's very volatile. And the corporate business tax, if you look at what we've taken in over the last number of years, it goes up and then it goes down. And so we can't depend on that. So what happens if we start to do these things? Next year, we don't have that same amount of money. So we should be looking at ways to make decreases in our budget.
New Jersey Business and Industry Association, just one of the groups also against the millionaires tax proposal. And then there's Senate President Steve Sweeney, who has his own proposal, it's a different type of millionaires tax. It's raising the corporate business tax.
Right, and that makes no sense either. I mean, what we want to do is make sure that businesses stay in New Jersey, or that the governor talked about initiatives and growing industry in New Jersey and incubator industries. Well, I compared us to Massachusetts. Massachusetts has a flat income tax rate of 5.1%. So if we start to have a corporate business tax that goes up, or a millionaires tax, because it's not individuals only who make over $1 million, but it's LLCs and professional corporations. And I said to people, this could be your medical office practice, that their net income, if you have multiple doctors, their income tax is going to go up. So it's going to have ramifications across the state.
All right, so one more question, and this is about the sales tax, because after Governor Christie, in his term, started to slightly lower the sales tax to ease the pain of the increased gas tax. Now Governor Murphy wants to hike that back up again to 7%.
And let's make this clear. They say it's a little tiny bit of an increase, but it's a $550 million increase, which is a large number. So it's not just pennies to the people. It's everybody's going to take a hit on this. And Governor Murphy promised in his campaign that he would not raise taxes on the working and middle class people of the state of New Jersey. This is an increase on the working and middle class people of New Jersey, no matter how you look at it. People will say, well, it's only $85 to $125 a year. That's a night out. That's a chance to have an opportunity for some families to have a meal out that they might not otherwise have. So let's not diminish the impact of this. Instead of every single tax going up, because every tax is going up, why don't we keep some that we were able to lower down at the rate we had it before?
Assemblywoman Nancy Munoz, great to see you again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.